Country Jeromes, take me home to the place I belong. Minnesota, passive aggressiveness, take me home, make golden light. Yeah, well, welcome on in, Jeromes. I don't know what it is. Again, as we've talked about, like whenever there is some rain. Oh, there we go. There we go. We got it fixed. All right. So whenever there's rain, like the internet just gets wonky around these parts. I don't know what it is. It's extremely like first world bitching problems, and it's crazy. Where I forget where it was, but I read somewhere in a book that all right. So some of the tribes of Africa, they get intermittent electricity, right? So sometimes it just goes out. It's like whatever. So now if us Americans had that problem, right? So we only got electricity, say 50% of the time, it would be a glass half empty thing. It's like, how come we only get electricity 50% of the time? Whereas the Africans are like, well, it's nice that we have electricity 50% of the time. It's just, I don't know. As you get older, you do start thinking more about the, what being grateful for what you have, what does matter in life, all of that stuff. It is really good and exciting. So we got some Q&A. Also, so I want to talk about baseball. So I am a casual baseball fan. Love the Twins. When I was growing up, baseball was my number one sport, and I do understand from the players' perspective. Like I don't think there's going to be baseball this year. I think that the two sides won't come to an agreement on revenue sharing or whatever salaries would be, and just as a casual fan, it's a really bad look, right? So you look at, I understand professional athlete jobs are not comparable to everyday Joe Six-pack lunch pail jobs, right? But so many people out of work, so many people hurting, both from the virus as well as fallout from the shutdowns. If you don't come to the table and if you don't play games when you're allowed to, because you have a couple players that are belly aching about not getting their full salary or XYZ. I understand from the union's point of view, you don't want to give an inch because if you give an inch, the owners will take a mile. Fully understand that. But optically, it is a really bad look. It is really bad. And I think it will. This has been bandied about. I think it will be akin to the strike in '94, where frankly, a lot of like casual baseball fans, and those are the important ones, by the way, because you always have the hardcore baseball fans, but the casual fans are the one that you need to occasionally watch on TV to get that TV revenue up, to occasionally go to the ball game and spend $100 on tickets and $50 on parking and $100 on concessions. You occasionally do need that, and I'm one of those casual fans. But man, if they don't come back, I don't know. Or maybe I'll just take my entertainment dollar, go watch the St. Paul Saints, because you get the same experience, and who cares about the baseball? All right. So, anyways, stepping off of that soapbox, but we got Q&A as well as, so we asked in honor of our series that we're starting. So the Metal Podium series. If you didn't see it yesterday, go check it out. We did the top 3 Vikings wide receivers of all time. We came down with Moss, Carter, gold, silver, respectively, and then I guess bronze. You'll have to watch and find out. So we did your top 3 pizza toppings, so that's gonna be sprinkled in the Q&A as well. For me, what would be my top 3? Might go Italian sausage, except Italian sausage where it's all right. So pizza, Italian sausage. So I'm down to clown if you just like brown it in a pan like you would ground beef or mince, as I guess British people call it. Australian people do. Basically, everyone not American calls hamburger mince, which is kind of funny to me. But if you take the extra time to so take the sausage and then you like section it off and like get like nice little meat nuggets there, and then just get that done. For some reason, it just tastes better. It just does. So that Italian sausage. I'm going to go red onions. Onions are great. And third one is kind of, I am pro pineapple on pizza. I don't know if it would make it top 3. First off, how dare you put pineapple on a pizza? It's like, what do you care? It's not like you have to eat it, right? It's like the people who judge others for putting ketchup on a hot dog. So now, I wouldn't do it. I'm a mustard and onions type of guy. But, I mean, if you want to, who cares? I'm not eating it. Like, why do you care? It's all the Chicago jabroni sac. Oh, it is sacrilege to put ketchup on a hot dog. Bullshit. You put everything else on a hot dog. All right, so you're telling me. So you're telling me, Chicago, that it is okay to put mustard and neon green relish and onions and celery salt and other pickled vegetables, a full giardara of whatever going on that hot dog. But if someone puts an ounce, a speckle, like a pubic hair thin stream of ketchup on the hot dog, it's ruined, bro. It's ruined. Please spare me. Yeah, I love Chicago. I don't like Chicagoans, especially Bears fans. I don't know what it is. Where for so many years, Bears, to me, were like the Lions. It's just like, yeah, whatever. They're in the division, not really rivals. I don't really care. But after we started doing this channel, and then Bears fans started getting the comments, I now hate everything about Chicago, which sucks because Chicago's a great city. Chicago's a great city to visit. It's over, dog. But anyways, yeah, there you go. So first up. Jello Kid 494. What team in sports are you the most committed to that isn't the NFL? Also, my top three toppings are meatballs, pineapple, sausage. Oh, I didn't answer the question. Maybe might go green peppers. Green peppers for sure. Mushrooms would be up there. I really do like the Supreme. Throwing pepperoni for sure. God, Canadian bacon's good too. Actually, bacon. Legit, like crumbled up bacon's just me too. But team most committed to that is in the NFL, probably the Twins. Yeah, we're super casual Twins fan. It was great having that sort of crazy one-off year. As you can see, we got the Twinkie shirt from our friends. Ooh, actually no, there we go. For our friends, brandmn.com. Click the link below. Use promo code RealJerome. Get 15% off Minnesota sports inspired gear. You should do that up. Support the channel. Support them because they support us. So I guess I would say the Twins. I'm not really ride or die with anyone else. Like the Wolves, whatever. Was more of a Wolves fan when I was a kid. Hockey is whatever. Gophers or whatever. Yeah. David Bryant. Why is it that Jake Browning and Sean Mannion just have names that sound like they're just bad players? That's true. I could see the headlines. Like if Jake Browning ever had to start a game, it's like he's really browning his pants out there. Jake's browning the draws again. Sean Mannion. I don't know. Sean Mannion just sounds like a failed realtor in your market. It's like Sean Mannion for Sean Mannion Homes. It's like, bitch, you haven't sold a house in like 3 months. Yeah. Let's see, bacon, hamburger, sausages. I mean, I'm mad at you. I grew up, so the pizza I grew up with, the homemade pizza. So make the dough. It was like a medium crust. Like it wasn't deep dish. It wasn't thin crust, but it was like a medium crust. Then you had like the jarred like pizza sauce. And then it was ground beef, onions, and mushrooms. And then it was mozzarella and cheddar, right? So it is this really weird, really great concoction of pizza I grew up with. So that was my dad's favorite, so that's what we had. So I do have a soft spot for ground beef on pizza, even though a lot of people don't do it. It's weird. Travis, I love that this is just turned into pizza day. This is just great. We got Pizzagate going on. Travis, top three pizza toppings: pepperoni, banana peppers, a spicy Italian sausage. Changed my mind. That's pretty good. That's a pretty solid combo. I'm an onion dude through and through, though. So I got some onions. I'll toss those in there. Zach Ballas. I'm worried about the Lions this year. Changed my mind. Sausage, onion, pineapple. I almost went sausage, onion, pineapple. Or I do like the pineapple. Well, the key with the pineapple, though, is you can't. You have to use canned. Like, you can't use fresh. And also, get the tidbits. The chunks are too big, too watery. The crush is whatever. But get the tidbits and then drain the can and then dry them first. So put them in a paper towel. So wring out as much moisture as possible because that's really key for a pizza. Because otherwise you're not going to get a crisp crust. Crisp crust will make you jump. So that's the thing about pizza. You want to eliminate as many water elements as possible. That's why you want your sauce to be a little bit thicker than you would think, as well as you want low moisture cheese on top. Plus, See what else here. Oh, if you put in like green peppers, or even I do this with onions too. Just put them on a paper towel. Just try and dry off as much moisture as possible, because two things. So if there's moisture, they'll seep down into the crust, so your crust won't get as crispy, so it's not great. As well as if there's moisture, as it cooks, it will actually steam. So instead of having a baked, delicious, crispy crust pizza, it'll be like really mushy in the middle, as well as even the toppings. Like they won't bake, they'll just steam. So get as much moisture out of your pie as possible. Worry about the lines this year. I mean, on paper, they do have a decent team. Defensive line, besides Trey Flowers, isn't much to write home about. I know they got Aquara as well as his brother in the building. I just don't believe in Patricia. I just don't believe that he's a leader of men. I do think that he will lose the locker room. So even though they do have a talented on-paper team, I don't think that they will follow that man, besides anywhere except for Quiznos. Len Jensen. What are your thoughts on hockey returning? Go Wild. Pepperoni, olives, and green peppers. Great combo. Very solid. Very classic. Kind of indifferent. It would be nice, because I know there are a ton of hockey fans and people are really starved for football. I mean, the fact that the match was the golf match with Tiger Woods and Mickelson and Peyton and Brady was the highest rating golf, like cable golf thing like ever. That just shows how badly people just need the distraction of sports. Yes, it is bread and circuses, but if the circuses stop, you miss the circuses, right? And also people gambling. Like there's like millions upon millions of dollars wagered in that thing. It was like it was like all the pent up March Madness gambling just put on that. It was great. Plus Charles Barkley was announcing. Come on, player. Shoot. Ethan Jansen. So I think hockey would be great. Especially for hockey fans, especially for Canada, etc. Ethan Johansson, pepperoni and sausage mix, all meat, pepperoni, and green olives. Pepperoni and green olives. Yeah, it's very solid. Do you think there's a possibility of an MLB NASCAR stadium? Is that actually a thing? Let's see. Baseball NASCAR stadium. All right, so what the hell is this? All right, so this is in Miami, and this is just a racetrack. I don't think it would work, mainly because because they tried. Didn't they play a college football game in a NASCAR? Game at NASCAR. All right, so yeah, Virginia Tech played Tennessee at Bristol Motor Speedway. And they were expecting 160,000 people. That's funny. All right, so you just see how small this football field is compared to a NASCAR racetrack. Because, yeah, motor speedways are gigantic because it's almost like they have this enormous giant loop in the middle of them, right? So they can seat a lot of fans, except sight lines aren't great because, I mean, you're at the top of the bowl here. It's like, what is this, a game for ants? Yeah, I got it. So I don't think it'll work for baseball necessarily. Nah. Next up is Gavin Odman. I would love Trey Lance on the Vikings. It would be a great story and make sense if it was like a Patrick Mahomes, Alex Smith situation. It would be great. I don't think Trey Lance will fall to the back end of the first round unless he has a gas mask bond and he kills a guy. All right, so maybe that happens, but yeah, I think Trey Lance is a pretty safe bet to at minimum be a top 10 pick and potentially even higher. Jake Langevin, top 3 pizza toppings: sausage, mushroom, onions. Yeah, that's my guy. What's your go-to athletic brand for wearing around? I hate when I zoom in because some of these for wearing around the house or the gym. All right, so I'm pretty brand agnostic. Like I don't really care. I just buy what's on sale. So whether it be Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, Reebok, I just really don't care. Now as a kid, I cared, right? So that was always big. I was a big Nike dude as a kid. So that was always big. I was like, oh, you gotta have as many swooshes on your body as possible. Got to be like Tiger Woods. But then again, you grow up and you're like, oh, that was really stupid. Like who really cares? Like the shorts I wear around the house all the time now are, I don't even know the brand. We got them off of Amazon. I'm sure they're made in like Vietnam or like deep China. So maybe they got the Rona all over them. And they're like this soft cotton with, oh, by the way, like pockets that zip. Pockets that zip are really important now because A, phone, B, wallet. So you'll find that out as you get older. And it's like, I just don't care. Actually, I find it more annoying when there's like logos and stuff on things. So I've gotten to that age. But I will say for shoes, I'm generally pretty agnostic. Just find whatever's on sale. But what I generally tend to do, so go to the outlet mall, just go to the Nike outlet center, and I find that the cheapest Nike cross trainers, they usually be about 30 or 40 bucks, and then just wear them till the wheels fall off. That's about it. That's how you roll. Yeah, as you get older, you really just do not care anymore. Which is great. Something I do care about is the Jeromes on the live stream. Let us know where you're watching from. We'll give a couple of shout outs. Always enjoy doing that. Next up is Jake Simmons. How good do you think we'll be if we had prime Bud Grant and Fran Tarkenton on the Vikings right now? I would have loved to see how Bud would have handled the when the kneeling for the national anthem thing was going on, where low key sort of flew under there. Like Zimmer and the Wilfs, meh. There's nothing with the Vikings players necessarily, but Bud Grant, he was famous for it. Like everyone had to stand like a yard apart on the sidelines. Let's see, Bud Grant national anthem. All right, so yeah, helmet under your right arm, standing at attention, all that stuff. You know, because Bud Grant, did serve in the Navy, World War II. Plus, he's just like this old school guy. I would have liked to see that, but I think a lot of the Bud Grant was a disciplinarian, but also like, he wasn't a yeller. Like he's very stoic. I think that his style would mesh well. I'm trying to think. Like Zimmer, obviously has that old school grizzled style, but he's also definitely a yeller. I'm just trying to think like who currently has like that Bud Grant style. I don't know. It's really hard to say because like even in college, like a lot of the coaches are super animated. Like me, I was gonna say Saban, except Saban gets feisty. Saban gets after it. All 5'2" of them. So it's tough to say, but yeah, I think they would do well. I think Fran Tarkenton, his mobility would be great in today's modern NFL. I think they would use him like, Russell Wilson, like Lamar Jackson, which it would be phenomenal. It'd be great. Big T, pepperoni, spicy Italian sausage, and jalapenos. Phenomenal. It's just really good. All right, so a couple shout outs. Let's see here. Karsten Ciceros from Old Chi-Town. Oh, sorry about crapping on your hot dogs, man. They are very good. But again, people is like, who cares about ketchup? I understand you don't want to enrich the Heinz family, but next up is Brandon Lopez. Shout out from a mobile office driving across I-40 in Tennessee. Love Tennessee. What up? Zach Ballas from NoCo. Travis from Flake. Seems to me that may be. Nick Doroff. From Waite Park, Minnesota. What's up? And Rick Wilson, Webster City, Iowa. Boom. Preacher Paul, hauling it for all y'all. He's on the road. He's in Afton, Minnesota currently. What is up? Tommy Johnson. Take Tommy Johnson. Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha. Skull Vikings, Northern Saskatchewan. Boom. That Vikings fan from Washington. Daily Watcher from Sumner, Washington. Heart you, man. Ethan Griffith, Minneapolis. What is up? Now he's in Maplewood. Make up your mind, man. Purple Rain, Wausau, Wisconsin. Mr. Popo from SoCal. What is up? Hairfine, Belichick is like Bud Grant. Yeah, I'd agree there. That's probably the closest. Chris S. Skull from Albuquerque. ABQ up in the Hizzy. What is up? As well as Noah Fandrich, Skull from Wazetta, Western Burbs representing, as well as Tony Levins from Mound. Again, Western Burbs representing. I think Rich Gannon lives in Mound. Pretty sure. Also, it's Tony Levins' 21st birthday today. Got any crazy stories from your 21st? Well, shout out to Tony on his 21st birthday. So, when I turned 21, down in the third world country that is Winona, Minnesota. All right, so we did a stupid 2021 thing where in Wisconsin, you go across the river, Winona's, border town. So on your 21st birthday at midnight, so again, midnight, turn 21 that next day, you go over to the bar. So we did that. And then my 21st birthday, we just went out in town and we did the stupid thing where every time you take a shot, you had a Sharpie and then you just draw, you tally it up on your arm. So I got like 30 marks on my arm. I used to be a tank back in the day. Still kind of a tank. Definitely drink less though. Definitely better beer and better brands of whiskey. But what can you do? Tristan, I love your channel and your football content is one of my favorite things ever. It helps me distract from my personal issues. Like I have 22q11 syndrome and I have 4 open heart surgeries. Oh, your channel provides me great entertainment. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Hey, thank you, man, for consuming the content as well as, just stuff like this. Like, it's great that we can, provide a service and, inform and entertain. Well, inform and quasi entertain for just a few minutes, an hour a day. It's great. And Tristan, keep on trucking, man. Keep on grinding. Get after it. Did I say happy birthday to the dude in the chat? Yeah, Tony Levins. Yeah, say happy birthday to him. Also, Hairfine, the other guy from Nebraska, Corn representing, Michael Parks, goal from New Jersey. Shout out, what's going on? Amza Abdi, predict how many compensatory picks we'll have in the next year's draft. 3. I think they'll have an extra 3rd, 6th, and 7th. Also, I only need 2 toppings, extra beef and extra jalapenos. It's a pretty good combo. Actually, all these are great. All right. Also, I will say, so let's get nuts. Anchovies are good. I do enjoy fish, but also mussels, or like clams. Clams are really good too. Like one of my favorite pizzas is, so I got a white sauce. So you basically make an Alfredo sauce. You got butter, you got heavy cream, you got Parmesan, you got all the great things in the world. Just make a nice thick white sauce and, top with cheese and then mussels. Also, you put the mussels on right towards the end, just so they're warm through. Otherwise, they just get dried out and whatever. And then like some fresh chives, some red pepper flakes. It's just good. It's just good, man. Woo! Let's go. Next up is Griffin Creer. Do you think Madison could be a starter on most NFL teams? Yes, I do. Also, my top 3 pizza toppings are eggs, olives, and sausage. Yeah, there you go. A little breakfast pizza. Ain't nothing wrong with a little breakfast pizza. Like honestly, like breakfast buffets, if they have breakfast pizza, go win the day. I think Alexander Boom Boom Madison could definitely be a starter on most NFL teams. Maybe he will be on the Vikings someday too. Tristan, whenever the Vikings win the Super Bowl, are you going to do some special event on the channel to celebrate, like a 24-hour live stream or something like that? I will drink more than my 21st birthday. It will be a stream as long as we can be on and just us talking and not sleeping for like 5 days. It'd be great. Have my own mini hell week except with booze and celebrations. Bears and Reds fan. Pepperoni, sausage, and peppers. Classic. Love it. Have you ever heard or seen Food Fight? Also, if you could cut one contract with the Vikings with no cap penalties, what would it be? So no cap penalties. All right. So first off, is Food Fight the documentary? Or no? Is it? Food Fight is a 2012 computer animated adventure comedy. What? All right. Wow. I am not high enough for this. Charlie Sheen and Wayne Brady are in this movie. Hilary Duff and Eva Longoria. Christopher Lloyd's in this movie. Larry Miller, R.I.P. Wait, did Larry Miller die? No, I guess not. Larry Miller, still a stud. Wait, no, he had a stroke? Larry Miller, brain injury. Sad. Hopefully Larry Miller's getting better. That's about right. Contract I would cut. Vikings over the cap. So no cap consequences, which I mean, it would be great to live in a world with no consequences, cap wise. Come on. Again, first world problems. Me bitching about the loading of the internet. All right, so cap number for 2020. I mean, I guess you would say Cousins, but also who would you get to replace him? You could say Riley Reef with no penalties. It would be great to free up that full 13.2. So Cousins is close, but I will say Reef. All right, so next up is Pulford Skull. The Vikings would be very wise to take Russell Wilson Jr., a.k.a. Trey Lance, late like the Ravens did with Lamar, even if Kirky plays next year. All the cap stays available with Kirky and young second quarterback Trey Lance. Yeah, we sound here a bunch. The starting quarterback on his rookie deal is the greatest competitive advantage in all of sports. You can spend all that extra $20, $25, $30 million elsewhere. But yeah, I don't think that Trey Lance will be available when the Vikings draft. Barring Kirky's alien abduction, and then Sean Mannion leads the Vikings to a 2-14 season. Kyle Rippentrop. Now, I read this first as Hans Zimmer, the composer. Has Zimmer ever opened the doors to US Bank Stadium on a cold day yet? I don't think he has. If not, will he? I don't know why they don't. You put in that feature, it probably costs extra tens of millions of dollars, and you've never used it. You use it sometimes. The doors are open. God, what is the deal with? All right, so US Bank Stadium doors first time. So they've basically just opened them to show that they open, and then they've never had them open for a game. I mean, what's the point of having them then? I want to know. If you can't use the elements of the Frozen North, then why do this? Yeah, and it really annoys me. But I think it would be a major advantage to tell opposing team 90 minutes before the game that they have to play in 0-degree weather. I think it's like the roof on retractable roof stadiums, like Lucas Oil Stadium. I think they have to have it established like a couple hours beforehand. All right, so. According to same authority, to open. 90 minutes. So yeah, you're all right. So that's my bad. 90 minutes. There you go. Next up is MIT 03, but that would be great. So you got playoff game, you have the NFC title game, and you got the Vikings hosting the Bucks. Yeah, Tom Brady and the Bucks. All of a sudden, 90 minutes before kickoff, doors open. Because it'd be great because you have the cold. Also, maybe they should let them know ahead of time because fans could wear their coats in. Well, they're going to be wearing their coats in anyways, unless they're coming from the Skyway, which, whatever. MIT 03. How do you feel about Arch Manning, Cooper Manning's son? He's only a sophomore, but I've heard that he might be the best Manning. Yeah, so Arch Manning, 24/7. See what his recruiting is already. So yeah, so the eldest Manning brother, Cooper Manning, he was a wide receiver at. I want to say he was a wide receiver at Ole Miss. But he's the older brother of Peyton and Eli, and he was a great wide receiver. End up at Ole Miss. So that was Archie's alma mater. Vikings legend Archie Manning, by the way. So he ended up at Ole Miss. Had some health issues, had to retire. And then, all right. So yeah, Peyton actually took up number 18 as a nod to Cooper. So that's kind of funny. All right. So Arch Manning, a grandson of Archie, nephew of Eli and Peyton. So no rating so far, but already has interests. I mean, Ole Miss, obviously, probably has the inside track. I think that's the same high school that Cooper and Peyton and Archie all went to, by the way, or Eli. Yeah. So I mean, once this kid becomes like a high school recruit, I'm actually surprised that some college hasn't offered him already. But yeah, I think he's going to be a big time name to watch. Next up is Sam Maros. I've thought this in my head that Adam Thielen is the next Chris Carter and Jefferson is the next Randy Moss. Could have happened. Thielen, Carter, pretty close. Jefferson, well, let's establish that there has never been before, during, or after Randy Moss, there has never been a wide receiver like him. Just overthrow him. Just you could never cover him deep. I mean, that's not going to happen ever again. It just straight up will not. Right. So. Also, I mean, Jefferson, stylistically, is way different than Randy Moss. He's going to be great in his own right, but not Randy Moss. Husgamer 15. You should do some Vikings history videos like the 98 Vikings one today, so younger fans can learn about the snake bitten franchise. We might just to do some research for ourselves, because a bunch of like old codger Vikings fans will say that 75 Vikings team was the best out of all the Vikings teams. All right, so you come off Super Bowl loss 74, come back 75, and then you get knocked down the division round by the push-off. Did the Cowboys win the Super Bowl that year? Because if they didn't, what a waste. Yeah, so they lost Super Bowl 10 to the Steelers. Boo. Boo. Yeah, I boo you, Tom Landry. Yeah. Next up is Preach Ball. Hauling it for all ya. I'm a Papa Murphy's guy, so bacon, artichoke, and chicken garlic from Red Savoy is sneaky good. Sauerkraut pizza. Who knew? Oh, sauerkraut pizza from Red Savoy. Yeah, sauerkraut. If you want to do like an Oktoberfest pizza, just really, really good. So instead of sauce, use Thousand Island dressing or Russian dressing. Yeah. All right. So Reuben Oktoberfest esque type pizza. Then top it with sausage or pastrami. You could do that too. A little bit of sauerkraut, but again, drier sauerkraut, as well as you don't have to bake the sauerkraut. Well, you could heat it, but have it be dry, have it be on top, add it on the last second, so it doesn't impact the structural integrity of the pizza. It doesn't make that thing soggy. But yeah, that'd be good. Yeah. Use Munster cheese. Yeah, really tied in Germany. Yeah, Papa Murphy's is good. I will say, of all the chain like delivery pizza places, I'm pretty meh on. But like Take and Bake, like Papa Murphy's is actually pretty good. Yeah, we like the Cowboy. We like any of the chickens. I mean, they're not bad. Head coach, where do you visit California? When you visit California, where do you go? Mainly LA. It's all for work stuff. But I've also been to San Diego, dipped down to Tijuana. It's great. Have not been to the Bay Area. Been to Santa Barbara. I want to say I've been to Bakersfield, or at least drove through Bakersfield. Somewhere there. But yeah, definitely want to get to the Bay Area at some point. Next up is Mo Abdul 99. I'm a little basic with my toppings. I like chicken or beef with jalapenos, and you got a pizza. Also, pineapple with your pizza is underrated. Agree. And it's like people get so militant by pineapple does not belong on pizza. Well, don't get pineapple on your pizza. Stop ruining it for the rest of us. Carnivore Mustachio the third. First off, Canadian bacon, not ham, jalapenos, and more cheese. Agreed. Has there ever been a coach you really wanted fired on a team you love? Brad Childress, Leslie Frazier at the end, Mike Tice. If I would have been alive, Les Steckel. Probably Jerry Burns towards the end. I didn't want Gardenhire fired. Oh, I definitely want Tibbs fired. Yeah, for sure. Tibbs fired. Oh, Tim Brewster. Tim Brewster for sure. Also, I don't think the Gophers should have fired Glenn Mason. Also, mainly because Glenn Mason had this tight end recruit from Wisconsin named Justin James Watt. Perhaps you've heard of him. By the way, J.J. Watt probably could have been the NFL's best tight end. Like if he stuck with tight end, he would dominate. Basically every Wolves coach, except for Flip, R.I.P. Flip, yeah. And then also, I guess Ryan Saunders is TBD. Yeah. Kurt Rambis for sure. God, Kurt Rambis sucks. Next up, Stanley Moros. Who, in your opinion, is the worst Vikings player to start multiple years? Pat Elflein. No, actually, Pat Elflein's rookie year was decent. Troy Williamson. Did Waswa Sirwanga start multiple years? If I spelled... I was so close in spelling it right, too. right, so Waswa Sirwanga. If you're too young for him, he might possibly be the worst cornerback I've ever seen play. And I've watched a lot of Vikings cornerbacks. All right, so I guess he didn't start, but he did play 14 games over 2 seasons. That could be it. God, Robert Tate was really bad too. Well, Robert Tate lasted in the league for 10 years. Maybe that's why it even hurts even more. So Robert Tate came in, 6th round pick. He was a wide receiver at Cincinnati. Go Bearcats. Yeah, so he was actually like a decent wide receiver at Cincinnati. Then the Vikings picked him. I was like, hey, we're going to switch you to corner. Try and Richard Sherman this thing. So he lasted on the Vikings for 5 seasons, didn't really start except for 1 season, but he was not good. Also, he was the OG wearing number 28. And also, they tried to gadget him. Apparently, they used him as a wide receiver as well, because why the hell not? Oh, he had 1 catch for 17 yards and a touchdown on the 98 Vikings. Woo! Those better stats than Treadwell had as a rookie. Get out of here. Also, I'd say Treadwell's. Well, Treadwell wasn't horrible. Next up is bread winning biscuit, half Canadian bacon, pineapple, green pepper, and half pepperoni, mushroom jalapeno. It's a lot of flavors and textures. I love it. Stan Lamaros. Top 3 pizza toppings are sausage, mushrooms, black olives, bacon tied for 3rd. Also, what do you think the Vikings will be looking for next year's draft? All right, so they got the left tackle of the future. Defensive interior, a little bit TBD. I think that Watts and Lynch will pan out. Maybe some wide receiver help. Yeah, just maybe like that deep threat element would be really big. Ethan Griffith. I want to bring back Everson and have Afadi start at defense tackle. Michael Pierce allowing. I would swap Afadi and Griffith. I think Everson's ready to take on that sort of catch-all Swiss Army knife veteran backup role. I think Afadi's ready to start. Tyler, Jamal Adams one time. That would be sexy. I mean, big nickel would be the new base defense for the Vikings. There's 3 safeties. Harrison and Jamal Adams and Anthony Harris on the field at the same time. Ooh, let's go. Andy's evil twin. I believe after the season, or maybe before the season, Elfline and Getting will be off this team, out of this team. I think they'll both stick around because they're on their rookie deals. Plus, it would be embarrassing for Spielman to give up on a 3rd and a 4th round pick respectively so quickly. Yeah. Todd, and also Getting is pretty decent on special teams. Todd Dronix, and you mentioned a few episodes back that Irv and Rudy complement each other well. We have other complementary players like O'Neal and Cleveland, Cook and Madison, Thielen and Jefferson, R.I.P. Diggs. Would it be wise for the Vikings to explore a complementary quarterback to Cousins to shake things up in a deep playoff run? If so, who and Sluter isn't available? I don't know. Like, find a Wildcat quarterback. All right, so I like Tyler Huntley from Utah this year. I like Perkins from Virginia this year. But yeah, just finding some sort of run-first quarterback. Like Nick Fitzgerald from Mississippi State was intriguing 2 years ago. I think he was more Taysom Hill than Taysom Hill actually is. Yeah. Next up is Ike09Y. What famous landmark would you be most excited to see? I like pepperoni, mushrooms, and jalapenos. Great combo. Landmark. Guess the Coliseum. Like I'm a big history nerd. Really jonesing on Roman history right now. So I guess the Coliseum, aka the Flavian Amphitheater. I know that the Hot Gates, the pass at Thermopylae, isn't anything to look at anymore, but that it would be really interesting to see that. See here. It's a Roman history. The site of Cannae. All right, so Lake Trasimene, the Trebia, and Cannae. 3 battle sites between the Romans and Hannibal, Carthaginians, Second Punic War. Or just going up and down the Appian Way in Italy. Yeah, so as of right now, Italy's really big on my list. But also, I'm sure I'll drift into like Germanic and eventually Frankish and Viking history as well. So then I guess I'll bring a jacket. Next up is T-Rag. If football didn't exist, what would be your number 1 sport? Also, perfect pizza, pepperoni, and beef with bell and banana peppers on top of a little Italian seasoning, garlic butter. Sounds pretty damn good. All these combinations sound great. People actually probably hate my mussels idea, but yeah, whatever. What would be our number one sport? I still really like MMA. Like I like MMA and the UFC mainly because I get to be a casual fan. Like I am into jiu-jitsu, so I am starting to understand more of the the groundwork. Where the super casual, or not even the fan, just like the average American will look at MMA and be like, well, it's 2 punches and then they hug each other. Well, no, there's a lot more to it. Like the complexity of the ground game, I think, is the most intriguing and interesting part of it. It is also the great equalizer, just in terms of, like, if you have a guy who's bigger, stronger, and has a longer reach, if you're just gonna stand up and trade, the bigger, taller, faster, longer guy is gonna win 8 times out of 10, roughly. So yeah, the mixed part about the mixed martial arts, so bringing in Muay Thai and boxing and judo and jiu-jitsu, it is really all really intriguing to me. So I would probably say MMA, UFC, plus I enjoy it because I can just be a fan, right? I can just be super casual about it. Baseball, I guess where I still enjoy baseball, mainly going to games, as well as I got kids now, taking kids to games, and like those were some of my greatest experiences from a kid, just going to Twins games, even though it's stuck in the dome. So imagine this, like June, July, you have these beautiful, hot Minnesota summer days, and you just go inside. Like, what is the point, man? What is the point? Mr. Popo, the Cowboys did beat the Vikings in the 77 NFC Championship. There you go. Aaron Rodgers, BFF and lover. How many games will the NFL help out the Packers this coming season? 5. When they go 5-11, they help them out in 5 games. Next up is... a couple more shouts. So we got Randy Zellen, stationed in Berlin, Germany. Best pizza ever. What is up? Thank you for your service, man. Oh, man. Live chat is really weighing in on the pineapple. People do not like. But that is okay. That is okay. There. Billy Long Skull from America's hometown. What's that? Plymouth? Or Philly? Probably Philly, right? Yeah. Mo Abdul 99. I know it's a little early, but who do you think the Vikings will draft first round 2021? They'll trade up for Jamar Chase. Abza Abdi. Would you rather be the boss of a mafia or the cartel? Probably. I mean, both are pretty precarious. I mean, as soon as you're weak enough, you're going to get assassinated either by the rival families or cartels and or like your underlings who's ready to take over. So I would actually say neither. But if I had to pick one, probably cartel. Because I feel like the money's better, and also you get warmer weather. For sure. Although it's not like Sicily is lacking for heat. Sandman66. What was your favorite childhood video game? Mine was Warcraft 2. Favorite pizza toppings, sausage, onions, any pepper. So, favorite video game growing up. So, Madden's an easy answer. If you want to go way back, GoldenEye on 64. Super Mario Star Fox on Super Nintendo was great back in the day. Oh, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat for sure. Also, it's gonna be so nerdy. So I'm generally not a nerd, and I generally am turned off by like fantasy stuff. Like I never got into Game of Thrones, but for some reason on Super Nintendo there was this game called Gemfire, which. All right, so my dad worked at a grocery store, and there was a video rental section. Kids used to rent videos and video games, and we got this as all right. So this is a game that no one rented, so we got it for free, and then I just tossed it in Super Nintendo. And for some reason, it got me. I don't know why, because you see, it's like it's a turn-based strategy game. And it's like medieval elements with magic, like there's dragons and wizards and shit. And I don't know why, because it's completely out of character for me, but I got into it. And In fact, on this computer, I do have a SNES emulator, and the only game besides Tecmo Super Bowl is this. So occasionally when I actually do have like 10 minutes to burn, which I don't usually, I just play it. Again, I don't know why. And again, it's so stupid. It's like, oh, no, flanking assault by the attacker. We got the dragons versus the archers. Oh no. All right, so that's a little bit about me. And as the live chat just like leaves, it's like nerd. Next up is Pulford Skull. What's your thoughts on 4th and 15 opposed to onside? They're hammering out the rules daily. Blah blah blah. I think it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, just have it be on time down, like a 2-point conversion. I say let teams do it as much as possible. I want to see more of it put into play. Like I want to see Kansas City go for it every single time, right? And also, onside kick is so anticlimactic because the recovery rate is like what, 2%? Or something ridiculously low like that. No, have it be exciting. Update the game. Do that. Yeah. San Moros. How likely do you think that Reef and Elfline start left tackle and left guard all season? All season, I'll say 40%. To start the season, I will say 80%. Ugh, it sucks. Little known perfection. Do you ever watch Tom Grossi? And if not, y'all should collab. I don't. Like, I know of his work, respect it, but also we've established on here I don't listen to like local sports. I don't listen to sports talk radio. I don't really do that because I never want to be accused of sampling ideas or premises. Same thing with YouTubers. Like I never want to be like, hey, you stole that idea from Tom Grossi, or hey, you stole that idea from XYZ. Now, there are entities that sample from us, name and no names, but that's okay. No, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery or something like that. But nah. Plus, why would I want to watch stuff about the Packers? Nah. Sandman66. If you become an expert of any type of cuisine in the world, what would it be? I guess sushi, just because it's the most unique of the cuisines. And also the one where I'm probably the weakest in, so sushi, I can do the basics. I can make a California roll. I can get we can go get a nice piece of salmon or a nice piece of tuna, and we can make like the basic rolls and stuff. But getting into like the hardcore stuff, like the eel, like the octopus, like the really fancy, just like there's nothing I love more. Well, I love sushi in all forms, don't get me wrong. So like all you can eat sushi for $25, sign me up at a lunchtime, let's go. But also sitting at a sushi bar where you have a trained sushi chef who's put in years, was an apprentice, and is amazing at his craft, like a peak sushi chef. And just like dealer's choice. I can't say sushi right now. Sushi chef, put out whatever you want. And then you just let them just like work their art. That's great. I would love to be one of those guys. I could pull off the look. Next up is Andy's Evil Twin. What are some players that got drafted early because of one play in college? Example, Clowney, big hit. Clowney, for sure. I don't know. Roy Williams, the safety, maybe. That hit they had. Where he had that Superman tackle on Chris Sims in the end zone. So maybe Roy Williams, he was an okay safety. I don't think, because I believe he was a first-round pick. I think he's an early pick. Next up is Mr. Popo. With baseball looking like it won't happen this year, do you think when it comes to voting in any sports for the Hall of Fame, they take those situations into consideration? I don't really know if they took into account, like, say, the 94 strike, players coming through that era. I don't think they really will. Cyberbully 123. I worked at a pizza shop in high school. We got robbed twice in 4 days, both at gunpoint. One of the dudes shot at the ceiling and hit the water pipe, and the store began to flood. He got $40, but not the meat lover's pizza on the counter. He must have been vegetarian. So imagine armed robbery, and you discharge a firearm in said armed robbery. Like, that's felony upon felony. Like, that is That is a long ass sentence for $40. Wow. Yeah. Abza Abdi. I think Vikings versus Saints is an underrated rivalry compared to the Vikings versus Packers after 09 NFC Championship game. I guess to a degree. And, of course, the Vikings have gotten the better of it. You look at the wild card last year. You look at the Minneapolis Miracle. Yeah. Tristan, do you think that, although I do think it is a one-sided rivalry just because Saints fans don't think they did anything wrong in Bountygate, which obviously did. Tristan, do you think the Kirk is going to take a giant leap forward this season? Yes. This is the year. This is the year that it happens and he becomes a great sushi chef. Nailed it. Also, what are the consequences that he doesn't perform? Well, he's got 2 more years on extension. Maybe he gets traded. Skull Vikes. And my 3 toppings are bacon crumble, mushrooms, and pepperoni. Ooh, I love it. I like it. Which make up the Canadian pizza? Oh, there you go. My question for you is, where's the Canadian bacon? Do the Cowboys get a little flexed in season predictions due to the amount of primetime games they play? To a degree, yeah. I think they do. Like, they're not America's team anymore, but TV executives still think that they are. Ethan Griffith. Sausage, pepperoni, onions. Classic. Pretty boring. Given how the kickoff has been ruined by modern rules, do you think it makes sense to still use a kick return that's different than the punt return? I feel like we're just wasting roster spots. If someone can do one, they should be able to do both. I feel like having multiple options is fine. I think gone are the days of having a guy like Cordero, even though Cordero was like a decent punt gunner. But yeah, I think it will be more guys, returners that play wide receiver, returners that play cornerback, etc. And running back as well. Aaron Rodgers, BFF and lover. What are AP chances of being with the Redskins this year? Norv Turner's son is the new OC. They were together with the Vikings 2014, 2016. Oh, yeah, I forgot Norv's in Washington now. Yeah, because Ron Rivera's like, hey, wait, no. Yeah, Scotty. Scotty doesn't know he's in Washington. I think he'll stick with Washington. Yeah, even though, let's see here. Even though they got Geis, who, if he can stay healthy, it's great. They did pick up Peyton Barber. Ooh, Antonio Gibson. And Bryce Love. Shoot, I really like Bryce Love. I think he'll stick around. Gary Odman, a couple more. The guy here. Gary Odman. How does Harrison Smith, Hilton Hill, a 4th and 6th round picks for Jamal Adams and Rashad Perriman sound? Not Perriman. Don't really care about that. Not giving up Harrison for Jamal. Yeah. Also, his mushroom is his pizza is mushrooms, bacon, pepperoni plus pineapple. Doesn't belong on pizza. So how dare you? How dare you, sir? Next up is Eric Hansen. Pepperoni, green olives, onions. Maybe that's weird, but I like it. That's not weird. What are your top 10 or top 3 to 5 Vikings personalities on or off the field of all time? B-Rob, Everson, Kelly Campbell, Jared Allen, John Randall, Dante Culpepper. That's about it. Like Randy, fun. You really have like the biggest personality. Oh, I would say Fred Smoot. Just because, even though he wasn't a good player, he's a great talker. So here, next up, head coach, best black quarterback and white running back of all time. Well, it will be Pat Mahomes. As of right now, I don't know, Warren Moon, probably. Best white running back of all time, John Riggins or Larry Zonka. Like, do they count? Or are they fullbacks? Brian Kaulin. Who are the 2 most realistic offseason roster moves the Vikings are going to make this year? Also, do the Vikings draft quarterback next year? Bacon, chicken, onions. Onions. Roster moves. Sign Everson. That's probably it. The Vikings draft a quarterback next year. They should. And not a 7th round pick. And not a guy like Nate Stanley. Charlie Boltman. Are Jerry Rice and Chris Carter the 2 best wide receivers of all time? No, Randy Moss number 1. Not only last one. What are the chances Lance doesn't declare for the draft next year, especially if the Rona shortens or even cancels football this fall? If he does declare, where do you think he realistically ends up, and where do you think he'd be the best fit? I think he's a top 5 pick. I think he's probably the 2nd quarterback pick as of right now. Skull from Fargo, blah, blah, blah. And if college football is shortened I actually think that would increase the number of underclassmen who declare. Also, I think guys like Chuba Hubbard as well as Travis Etienne are sort of reconsidering why they came back to college, especially if it's a shortened season. It just seems like a wasted year. But that is it. That is it for the daily live stream. Jerome, thank you very much for coming along. We'll get back after tomorrow. Ooh, we're also going to ask burger toppings. Yeah, because why not? It's off season. We do what we do. If you want to support the work, subscribe. Hit that join box to become a monthly or platinum Jerome. Also, brand MN. If you want sexy shirts like this, sexy hats like this, hit that link below. Use promo code RealJerome. 50% off your entire order. Get it done. But until tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time. Skol.